Hello, my name is John Teagan with OnSite Clarity. Today we're going to do a demonstration of OnSite Clarity with Twilio. OnSite Clarity is a sales management application that is scheduled to be released in fall of 2009. To give you a brief overview of the architecture, OnSite Clarity's front end is done all in Adobe Flex. The middleware, the communication process, and most of the work on the back end is all done in PHP and not totally applicable in this demonstration, but the backend database is MySQL. Today we're going to show the Twilio application. Primarily, a lot of the work will be done in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. We use Twilio to allow an extensive telephone capability to be fully integrated within the application versus just a plug-in functionality of it. So we wanted a seamless integration for the end user to work with telephony. The first part of the demonstration, we're just going to use a simple click to call. There are a lot of phone numbers within the application. Here we have a little phone icon that we'll click on to dial this number. The dial out capability is a two-way phone call conversation. So my landline will call first and then it will call this number. When I click on the icon, there will be a window popping up and you need to watch it fairly closely because there's some interesting things that are occurring, which we'll talk to when it comes up. So I'm going to click on the number and a little window comes up that allows me to take notes while the call is going to be made. There's my phone call. Now watch the call status and dial status when I answer the phone. You can see when I answer the phone, the update happened right away. We'll talk about the mapping and the weather in a second. And then my cell phone is ringing, which I'm just going to ignore at this point and then hang up. And you can see that the in progress and answer when I hang up, once Twilio is notified of the hang up, then the progress within the window update automatically dynamically. Obviously, we're taking the geo information from the Twilio calls, so we're putting a nice simple map, Google map displayed here, as well as a weather forecast. And you can just saw that the phone answering completed because I hang up. Twilio took a few moments to respond to that hang up. But as soon as Twilio responds to the answer, then we are notified dynamically as well. Going back to the map, there's just a simple geocoding of the address that's given, and we thought it would be very helpful to put a 10-day weather forecast into the map as well to allow the user to have a lot of things to be able to talk about while they're making the phone call. So that's an example of outbound phone call. You can also do outbound phone calls directly from here as well by just entering the phone number. Now the inbound calls is pretty fun as well. So obviously we have a Twilio phone number, which I'm going to call and put it on speaker. And a window's going to pop up. Now listen to the voicemail when it comes in. You can see that I have a response to the phone call while the person is going through the menus. And likewise, I'm putting up the geocoding. And I'm just going to do one of the voice prompts. And you can see that it will answer phone call right away. So the idea here is let the user to be notified dynamically when a phone call is coming in before the phone is actually transferred to their number. So I know exactly who is calling. I have access to all their notes. I have those Google Maps and 10-day weather forecasts. So when the phone actually does get transferred to me, I know quite a bit about the caller long before the connection's ever made. Again, the communication between Twilio and the client application is done dynamically and done in real time all through PHP. So you get these live updates very quickly, which is a very cool feature. Now another capability that we added is sometimes we added a blacklist functionality. So we all get those phone calls that are kind of annoying that we wish they would stop calling. So we integrated a blacklist functionality. So I'm going to call into the same number but from a different line that are already blacklisted. So this is kind of cool. So if you blacklist a user, then all they're going to get is this message when the call is in.
Sorry, you have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service. If you feel you have reached this recording in error, please check the number and try your call again.
So as far as the user is concerned, once they've been blacklisted, the number has been disconnected. You never get notified. You can very easily unblacklist unblacklist a phone number as necessary. And if this was a blacklist number, all I would have to do is right click and say blacklist the number. The next function I want to use show that it's all done in Twilio and PHP. Obviously, we have all the voicemail capabilities. So any voicemails that come in, I can easily see them here. When they came in, I can play them very easily. If I want to know more information about the voicemail, again, it allows me to see what contact it is. I can play recordings and I can transcribe the message directly from here into a note in the system. We'll also be using Twilio's voice to text conversion, either on demand or by request when the voicemail first comes in. The next functionality that we're going to show, we're providing a whole GUI front end to create call trees. Call trees is where you can graphically create the call menus that when people call in to be able to route the phone calls to the appropriate extension. So all our call trees will be done geographically, time of day, you can have personalized greetings. All the functionality is done in Twilio via PHP will be done through here as well. The remaining work that we have to do with the Twilio PHP interface is primarily doing the call logs. We want to be able to do a graphical presentation of the number of calls, the duration of calls, and so on, very similar to what Twilio already has on their website, but we want to throw that down to the client as well. I appreciate your time and looking at our demonstration of Twilio's PHP interface to OnSite Clarity's sales management application. Again, OnSite Clarity will be available this fall 2009. If you have any questions, you can get a hold of us through our website at www.onsiteclarity.com. Thank you.